Ahoy, mateys, and welcome back to another episode of Out of the Park Baseball 25 featuring the Pittsburgh Pirates, and we are going to do things a little differently in this episode. We're going to start with Paul Skenes going up against Zach Thompson, the lefty sensation from St. Louis. I think this is a favorable matchup for Skenes, so I was going to play through this whole game, but the second game, I'm going to do the in-game play stuff a little bit differently just to showcase some of the other options that we have in this game. And one thing that I did want to do here is change a pitch camera. I'm going to make this pitch camera where did I want? We'll just go to default, and I'll actually switch this back to default too. In initial camera view, we'll switch that. We'll keep that at wide. Follow ball. I'm going to hit no on that one, and let's see what our gameplay looks like here. In our first game against the division leading St. Louis Cardinals. Let me actually just double check to make sure I'm right about that. Team home screen. Yeah, St. Louis in the lead by, looks like a half a game over Milwaukee, oh no, I lied. I thought we were going to play Milwaukee, but I guess that'll be in the next episode. We got New York coming up next. So let's go ahead and get right into it with our low budget, no thumbnails needed Out of the Park Baseball series. Hopefully you guys are enjoying everything up to this point. Not going to make any changes to my lineup. I like where it is right now. Let's get right into it. Skenes, I looked at his splits right before this game started, and you can do that if you go into pitching stats and look at 2024 opponents' batting splits. And I saw that he is doing considerably better against righties than lefties. And the St. Louis Cardinals are a righty-dominant team, so I think we'll be in good shape, especially since we have a park that favors lefties over righties, but we'll see how things go here. We're also not very good hitting against lefties, too. So first batter, going to be a hit right up the middle, and things not starting very well for Paul Skenes. Get that nice wide view of the stadium with the default camera there. Mason Wynn up second and striking him out. It's a little jarring how it jumps out there, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes through this game. Third batter's Paul Goldschmidt, who is on the trade block because he's not having a very good season, and he's going to fly out to right field, leaving us with Jordan Walker up in the cleanup spot. Looks like it might be a walk, and it will be. So Skenes walks a runner into scoring position. Adam Duvall up fifth. Makes contact out into center field. Sawinski should be able to get under it, and does. And we get through the first unscathed. Now let's see how our bats do. Eddie Olivares to start things off. Makes contact, but it's slow right back to the pitcher, and that's one away. Xavier Edwards playing second in this one since Nick Gonzalez is on the IL. And that'll be out number 2. And O'Neal Cruz, who is on fire at this point, but has a tough lefty-on-lefty matchup here. Does make contact, but I think it's going to hang up, and it does. Easy play out in left center for Duvall. And that is going to be, or sorry, that was Burleson. That is going to be the first inning. So here comes Gorman, and the lefties are where we're going to need to pay attention a little bit more to when Skenes is on the mound. Puts the first batter away. Connor Joe playing first base in this one. Skenes gets the second out of the inning. And Alec Burleson hitting in that third spot. Striking out on the fifth pitch of the at-bat. Second strikeout of the game for Skenes, who just recently got his pro debut over the weekend, I believe, and looked pretty sharp, even though he did give up a handful of runs and didn't collect the win. He looked good, better than he's looked in this game. Looks like he's going to be the real deal. As another guy who hopefully will be the real deal, but isn't looking like it yet in the regular season, Henry Davis gets on base to start things off. Brian Reynolds up next, and he will make contact. Gets it through the left side of the infield, and we now have runners at first and second with no outs. And Pirates legend Andrew McCutchen up, hitting in the 7th hole, and he'll take the walk to load the bases. So bases loaded, no outs. Connor Joe up. Makes contact, and a fall, but a diving catch by Burleson prevents the hit and prevents the sac fly. So that's 1 down. Key Brian Hayes strikes out, and that's 2. And is Sawinski going to ruin everything for us? He does. So, wow. Bases loaded, no outs, and terrible at-bats for Key Brian Hayes and Jack Sawinski, who is on a bit of a cold streak here. Arenado is going to start things off in the 3rd. And just a easy fly out to Connor Joe there. Surprisingly, Arenado hitting in the 9th spot in this one. Edman, who got the leadoff single to start this game off, will shoot that one out into center, but Sawinski's under it. That'll be out number 2. And Mason Wynn, who I think struck out in his first at-bat, does make contact, gets it right over O'Neill Cruz's head, and we have a runner on base with 2 outs. Paul Goldschmidt makes contact, shoots it out into right field, but Olivares under it again. So 2 fly outs to right field for Paul Goldschmidt in this one, and it is still 0-0 through 2.5. Eddie Olivares to start things off, full count, makes contact, shoots it out into center, should fall. It's going to be off the wall, should be an easy double for Olivares. And it is. So another runner in scoring position with no outs for the Buccos. See if we can do anything with it this time, having the better part of our lineup up. Xavier Edwards making contact. That's going to make it through. I think we might see a play at the plate. We do. Throw home. It is wide, and we have our first run of the game. Excellent. And we're going to get a little feisty here and send Xavier Edwards, but he decides to stay put. Have O'Neill Cruz swing away, shoots it right up the middle. Could be a double play, but it's just going to be the one. Gets Edwards at the lead bag. O'Neill Cruz now on second. And we'll have Henry Davis swing away. Looks like he strikes out on 3 pitches, so not great. Now here comes Brian Reynolds. See if he can get anything going. Shot out into left field. Diving catch by Burleson, though, and that will be the inning. So we do plate 1, but could have done a little bit more. Sad to not see it. A better inning than that. Skenes will start off the 4th with a walk. Next batter going to be Duvall. Grounds it over to 3rd, and Key Brian Hayes turns that double play. 5, 4, 3. Making it look easy. Love to see that after the leadoff walk. Gorman then grounds out to Key Brian Hayes, who already has 7 errors through the inning, so I don't think he's going to, or sorry, through the season. I don't think he's going to be repeating that Gold Glove, but get through another half inning unscathed for Paul Skenes. So like I said, I think it's a good matchup for him. And so far, holding put. McCutchen's going to ground out to start the bottom of the 4th. And here comes Connor Joe, who almost got an RBI single in his last at-bat. He'll get... Ooh! I thought I was going to make it through, but not a chance. Tommy Edman, the Gold Glove second baseman, puts him away. Key Brian Hayes, who struck out in his last at-bat, does make contact, shoots it out into right field. Easy catch out there for Jordan Walker, and that is the 4th inning. All right, so Skenes back on the mound. Contreras skies it up into foul territory. Easy play for Key Brian Hayes. 1 away. Only 2 strikeouts in the game so far for Skenes. But he is pitching to contact. He's being very efficient. I think he's under 60 pitches through 5, assuming this will be an out. Arenado shoots it out into left field, and it looks like it will be an out. So 59 pitches through 5 innings is very efficient. Like to see that. It looks like things will be shaping up for a quality start for Paul Skenes, which would just be his second of the season. Sawinski flies out into right. Don't want to speak too soon, though I probably jinxed it. He'll give up like 8 runs in the next inning, right? Eddie Olivares, who got things going in the third, starts things off again. Not a double, but does get on base. Let's see if we can turn that into something here. Full count to Edwards, and he'll take the walk. And here comes O'Neal Cruz. Another full count. Makes contact, but skies it up. That'll be an infield, or actually it's in foul territory, so it won't be an infield fly. But it will be an out, nonetheless. And they do go to the relief pitcher, Andre Palante. 0-2 count to Davis. Possibly a strikeout, and it looks like it is. Davis strikes out looking. Nothing done with the base runner there. So that's the third time we've left a runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs and not been able to advance him at all. Hate to see that. Edman will start off the top of the 6th, and he goes down swinging on 3 straight. Mason Wynn up next, full count, and he'll make contact over to Connor Joe. Easy play for Joe, and that's 2 down. And Paul Goldschmidt, 1-2 count, makes contact, shoots it out to Olivares again, and Olivares makes not easy work of it, but does grab it. The 3rd straight fly out to Goldschmidt out into right field of the day. All right, Brian Reynolds to lead off the bottom of the 6th. 1 for 2 tonight. Makes contact, but right back to the pitcher for 1 away. McCutcheon up second, 2-2 count. Makes contact, grounds it hard to short, and that is out number 2. And here comes Connor Joe, who in real life doing quite well this season, even though the Bucks are having their fair share of problems, but he's going to fly out into foul territory. Ends the inning. It has been a pitcher's game so far. Not quite a pitcher's duel, as we did spell Thompson pretty quickly. Skenes is going to start the 7th. He's only at 74 pitches, so I think I feel good about this. Jordan Walker will start things off with a single, though, and he is a threat to steal. So we got to play it a little safe. I'm going to just go ahead and pitch to Duvall. First pitch will actually hit the batter. And now we got to start thinking about our bullpen here. Barucki is on fire, but our spell of lefties is about to go through, so I think we want to avoid him right now. I'll get Majunsky and Chapman going up in the bullpen, and I will go talk to Paul Skenes. Says he's okay, so we'll go ahead and pitch to our next batter. Makes contact. That's going to be an RBI double. Could bring in 2. See how Sawinski's throw does. And he will hold the batter over at 3rd, but that blows the decision at this point for Skenes. At best, he's going to get an ND. If he gives up another run, that's going to be on hook for the L here. Debating whether or not I want to walk Contreras, but I think I'm going to pitch to him. 1-2 count, strikes him out. That's what I was hoping for. And now I think I will go with the walk to Burleson. Weird to walk into Arenado, but I like the righty on righty matchup here. I'm going to have my infield play in, and we're going to cross our fingers and hope for the best. Paul Skenes, full count. He walks in the go-ahead run. Hate to see that, and that is probably going to be his day there. Let's see how Edman is doing. Better against lefties than righties, so what I'll go ahead is I'll put Majunsky in here and see if he can wrap it up. Forgot to call the infield in, so hopefully I don't completely blow this here. Doesn't matter either way. That is an RBI single right up the middle. It's going to bring in 2. That makes it 4-1. That makes that 3rd and 2nd inning where we weren't able to bring in runners all the more painful. Majunsky's going to get a walk to load the bases. Goldschmidt up, full count, makes contact. Won't be a double play, but Looks like we do get the lead runner at home. At least we get one. Jordan Walker up next. And Majinski strikes him out. So the damage is done. A 4-run seventh for the St. Louis Cardinals. We'll get Take Me Out to the Bulb game going. I'm going to sit down Chapman, but he'll probably come out for the 8th. I'm actually going to get Baraki going. Let's see if Brian Hayes can get something going. He has been a low point for us this season. I was expecting a lot more from him, both offensively and defensively. Sawinski looks like he's going to strike out again against Jojo Romero, who comes in. Yep, retires his first batter easily. 3-pitch strikeout. Eddie Olivares, who's been our best hitter so far in the game, he'll go down swinging, and that is a rough bottom of the 7th. Majinski looks like he's got something in the tank. I'll give him one more batter, and then we'll call Baraki in. Looks like an easy out into left for Brian Reynolds. And here comes Ryan Baraki. Lefty on lefty action against Nolan Gorman. Strike out. Wilson Contreras up next. 2-0 count. Makes contact. Should be an out for Sawinski out in the center. And it is. So that retires the side. But we're still down 3 runs with only 2 innings to go. Let's see if we can get something going. Xavier Edwards up. 2-2 count. Makes contact up the middle, but not hard enough. Looks like there's going to be an error. Mason Wynn with the error, and we have a base runner. Let's see what O'Neal Cruz can do here. Slight shift. Looks like it might work. They're going to throw him out as the lead runner, but Cruz will make it to first, so just 1 away. Kenyon Middleton has come in now, and I'm going to go ahead and have O'Neal Cruz try and steal here. Looks like they pitched out a little, but he's safe. Makes it up there. And Henry Davis will take the walk, so we have men at first and second now. Let's see if Brian Reynolds can make something happen. Makes contact. I'll get Davis out at second, but we do have 2 runners on here. McCutcheon, who is in a bit of a cold streak. I'm going to go ahead and sub in Rowdy Tellez here. I think this is definitely the play. And our best hitter will go ahead and strike out. Of course he will. So nothing doing there. Ivan Herrera comes in to pinch hit against Baraki to start off the 9th. And I'll just go ahead and keep Baraki in. Strikes out 1. Arenado up next. 1-0 count. Should be an out into left field, and it is. Brian Reynolds gets under it easily. Edman up next. 1-2 count. Hoping for the strikeout. Doesn't get it, but Key Brian Hayes grabs it with the line drive to the hot corner. And it's go time here. Put your rally caps on. Ryan Helsley out to close the game out for St. Louis. We'll lead things off with Connor Joe. Full count. Pitch coming. 3 blown saves on 25 opportunities. And starts things out with an easy ground out to Connor Joe. Key Brian Hayes up next. Striking out always when it's most inconvenient. And Jack Sawinski, our last hope, takes a 4-pitch walk. Eddie Olivares up next. And makes contact. I think that's going to be an out, though. It hooks out into foul territory, and that's it. St. Louis does get the win. Unfortunately, we just could not get the bats going. Only 4 hits, and I think all 4 hits came in the first 3 innings, if I'm not mistaken there. So you see the bar graph. Just that 7th inning got away from Skenes. Probably should have pulled him before the inning started, but I felt like riding the hot hand. He'll be on the hook for 4 earned. So, of course, me calling that quality start did jinx everything, but he is the player of the game somehow. Goes 6.1 with 4 strikeouts. I guess just no one else was any good at all, really. Only multi-hit players were the 2 leadoff batters, Edman and Olivares. And a tough L. Tough L to take right there. Let's go ahead and simulate our next couple games. Sonny Gray versus Mitch Keller. And that is a loss. Another pitcher's duel there. Gray looked great through 6. Keller looked okay through 6. And then Holderman gave up another one, but the bats just weren't going at all. More hits, actually, in this one than the last game. It looks like Connor Joe might have been our best hitter. 2 for 3. Runners left in scoring positions. 1, 2, 3 guys. So, tough offensive game for both teams. We'll see if we get the sweep here. We're still 2 games up on the Reds. Brewers riding a 2-game win streak as well, so they're still just a half game behind, but we're dropping. And it'll be Mats against Contreras, I believe, in this one. And another tough loss with decent pitching both ways. Looks like Contreras just shy of the quality start, 6 through 5 2/3. But Mats really shut us down. Only 2 hits on either side. Crazy. Jordan Walker had a 2-run homer in the first, and that was all they needed. Sawinski got a solo in the 6th, but neither team could get anything going, and that's a 3-game sweep against the division leaders, which you hate to see. We get a quick scouting report against the Mets. Go back to our team home screen. So we're 9 back now. Brewers also swept their series. It looks like they went up against the Reds because the Reds just lost 3 in a row as well. And now we'll go ahead. We got this New York series coming up. I'm going to probably play this game against Sean Manaea so I can get another Paul Skenes start. Let's go ahead and simulate game 1. I kind of forgot how to play the game for a second. All right, so big first win for us. Looks like we picked things up in the 6th here. A big 6-run, 6th inning. Love to see that. 9-4 victory. Severino, looks like they pulled him in the middle. Or no, not in the middle. It looks like they pulled him in the 5th. Then Hauser came in and blew everything. Bednar, surprisingly, coming in to get the win. Lauer goes 5 strong, but gives up 3 earned. And then Majinski and Gonzalez. Interesting use of Bednar there. I'm wondering why the AI went with that. I guess we'll never know. Brian Reynolds, the player of the game. A big home run. Looks like a 3-run homer in the 6th, as well as another hit. O'Neal Cruz was 2 for 5. McCutcheon still keeping the cold streak, but he did get a walk, so he was part of that 3-run home run. Nick Gordon, great, 3 for 4 with 3 runs scored. So you like to see all of that. Go check our mail and news really fast, and it looks like we found someone in Venezuela, David Espada, who doesn't look promising at all. Not 100% sure why I got an email about that. And then go ahead and simulate this Montgomery game. And that's a loss, so don't like to see that. Would have liked to see a win there, especially with JT Brubaker on the mound, who's been overperforming, so not horribly unexpected. And again, Montgomery's a lefty, and we've been historically bad against lefties this season. 5-2 victory. Another game chosen in the 6th inning here. So let's go ahead and play this game against the Mets with Paul Skenes on the mound, presumably. And it looks like it is Manaea, slightly better pitcher on the head-to-head matchups. It looks like the Mets are slight favorites in this one. A couple good lefties hitting for them. Jeff McNeil, who looks like he's underperforming this season. Lindor is a switch hitter, so he should be someone to look at, and he's on fire, so be afraid of that. And Brandon Nimmo has a big home run hitting bat, so you want to avoid that. It looks like this 2 through 5 hitting situation is going to be where we'll be most afraid, but hopefully we can pull things off here. Brian Hayes is tired, and I might be interested in subbing him out, and Jack Sawinski is cold, so I might want to sub him out as well, given that they have a lefty on the mound, if I'm not mistaken, right? Manaea is a lefty. So let's go ahead and make those manual adjustments. Even though Palacios is also a lefty, so it's not a huge push in either direction, I will give him the start. Or actually, where's Eddie Olivares here? Eddie Olivares is playing left. Is Brian Reynolds taking the day off? Yeah, Brian Reynolds is taking the day off. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's get Palacios in center. I'm going to get Brian Reynolds playing DH instead of McCutcheon because he is on that cold streak. And I guess O'Neal Cruz is sitting as well. So Nick Gordon's playing short instead of second. I was going to have Xavier Edwards play third, but I think in this scenario here, I'll keep Ke'Bryan Hayes in. McCutcheon's just been so cold. I guess because Brian Reynolds tired, I'll keep McCutcheon in. We'll go with this. I'm going to have him hit a little bit lower in the lineup. We'll go ahead and do something like that and cross our fingers. And to make things go a little bit faster here, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I normally play by going through at-bats, but I'm just going to play innings until we get runners in scoring position and see what that looks like. It's a way to still simulate the games, but you only kind of have to make decisions when decisions need to be made, if that made sense. It will stop the game if a home run occurs or a run happens when there aren't runners in scoring position, so that is something to be aware of. And go ahead. Looks like Jeff McNeil immediately starts by getting into scoring position, so we'll have to play our way through the rest of this inning. And if you always have the option to click the game log here and kind of see what happened. So it looked like Marte struck out, then McNeil got a single, and then stole second base. So that's how he got up to second. And then Skenes gets him. Great play out in left field by Olivares. Nice dive and grab. We make it out of that unscathed, and now we'll go ahead and hit until RISP. And ooh, things actually looking our way. We have 2 runners on base. Xavier Edwards is up at second. Rowdy Tellez is at the stick. And here comes the pitch, and he strikes out. Second time this video he's done that to me. Connor Joe also strikes out, so that's terrible. Tough to see that happen. And now we'll go ahead and hit that button again. We got Trace Thompson up at second now with 2 outs. Usually I don't see this much action when that happens, but we are dealing with a rookie pitcher here. So he gets the strikeout to get out of the inning. Easy second for us. Go ahead and hit that, and we have ended the inning without doing anything. And there you go again. Have to make some decisions here. Shot out into center. That will land. Should be an RBI. McNeil's going to run home, and he is safe. Dong Hyuk Lee, who I believe is actually Ji-Man Choi. There's something going on with like the Korean players in this game. I'm not 100% sure why. He gets walked on the full count. It's going to be an infield fly with the bases loaded there. And then Trace Thompson up next, 2-1 count. Makes contact. That should fall in, and it does. And a not great performance for Skenes here now. Throw home. That'll get Trace over to third. Clears the bases, and now it is 4-0. A terrible result with the bases loaded in the full count. Zach Short up next. Skenes strikes him out, but the damage is done. It's 4-0. And we got Palacios on base with no outs. Let's see if we can do something here. Olivares up, makes contact, shot out into left. It's going to hang up. Taylor gets to it. 1 away. Does advance the runner, though. Xavier Edwards up next. Makes contact. Won't be enough to bring in the runner. And Henry Davis, full count, and he strikes out. Terrible. All right, so Skenes has gone through 78 pitches, so we probably have to get someone going in the bullpen. I guess I will go... Ooh, I guess I'll go with Luis Ortiz. I'm also going to get Marco Gonzalez warming up just in case. And we'll do that until RISP, and we got out of it, so perfect. Love to see that, and it looks like we got an RBI there. If I click that game log and scroll right down, I can see that Nick Gordon got a double that hit in Connor Joe, who got on board with a walk. So a good 2-out RBI for Nick Gordon, who's been a great acquisition so far. McCutchen might also hit him in too, and it looks like he did. RBI single for Andrew McCutchen, who no longer has the little icicle next to his name. Get out of here. Palacios is going to sky that out. Should be the inning, and it is. But we do put 2 up. So have the lead, which I like to see. Go ahead and sit Ortiz and Gonzalez. I'll do the until RISP. And we got out of that again, so perfect. If I will put them up, yes, they're both ready, so that's fine. Do another RISP, and we have 2 runners on with 1 out. Last time this happened, Tellez struck out, and he strikes out again. And then Connor Joe struck out, and this time he will... Looks like... Catcher's interference. Interesting. I think that's the first time we've seen that in this series. So now we have the bases loaded for Key Brian Hayes. Go ahead and get Luis Ortiz back up. Key Brian Hayes. Grounding out. Nothing doing. So we leave the bases loaded. Mets were put in that situation. They cleared the bases. We were put in that situation. Nothing happening. We need clutch hitting. So Trace Thompson is on fire. He got that 3 RBI triple earlier. Go ahead and put Ortiz in. Skenes gives up 4 through 5. And Ortiz gets out of that inning without putting anyone in scoring position. So you like to see that. And another, nothing happening. Ortiz gives up a home run there, it looks like. And then gets out of the rest of the inning, so that's fine. Tonkin coming in for New York, and we'll get Edwards up at second. Henry Davis gets hit by a pitch on the 0-2. That's rough. And Rowdy Tellez, let's see if he strikes out again. Does not strike out, but it looks like it'll be a ground out, and it is. Does put 2 runners in scoring position now. And Connor Joe against Drew Smith. I'm debating pinch hitting here. I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. We're going to put Brian Reynolds in and cross our fingers. Makes contact out into center field. I think it's going to hang up and be an out, and it is. So nothing doing. Still 5-2. I apparently have an incomplete lineup because it automatically makes him a nothing. I'll move him out into his natural left field, and I'll move Olivares back out into right. Hit return to game, and we will go ahead and hit that until RISP button again, and it looks like Tyrone Taylor has made it to third base. Looks like he got there with a stolen base because we have a count active here. And it's enough to be a sacrifice grounder. They do put 1 across, and because no one's on board again, I'll just hit that button 1 more time and we get out of it. So 6-2 now. And 1 more. It'll let you know if your pitcher's getting fatigued. I'll go ahead and finish this batter, and then we'll put Baraki in, I guess. Ground out. 1 down. And in comes Baraki. Looks like we put Jeff McNeil up on second, so that is exactly not what I was hoping for there. And there's a walk. Brandon Nimmo up. And these should be the guys that he's easily able to put out. Looks like he gets the runner at second on the grounder. Probably should get a righty going, but I don't have anyone really available. I guess Holderman would be my best option. Hopefully I get a strikeout here, though. And I do. So there you go. Through 9. It's still 6-2. We're down 4. And we're going to hit that button, and that's going to end the game. So a tough L. But again, a little bit of a faster way to simulate through some of these games while still getting vital information and figuring out what's going on in the game. Not a bad start for Skenes, but again, just no hitting. That's kind of been the story of the whole year for us. Go ahead and hit leave game, and we'll simulate this last game against Kodai Senga, and then I'll pick up our next episode against Milwaukee, and we'll finish that off by doing our first year player draft. Let me go ahead and simulate. Hopefully we get a win here, but I'm not feeling great about it. We do get a win, so nice. Love to see that. Mitch Keller only goes 4 2/3, but the bullpen hangs on. We hit Senga up pretty well. Rowdy Tellez was the player of the game. 3 for 5. Looks like a 3-run homer in the 6th. The 6th inning has been the magic inning this episode. Looks like Rowdy Tellez had just the 1 home run, but that's his 28th of the year. So great performance so far this year for Rowdy Tellez. And really quickly, before I end this video, not going to look at the All-Star voting. Let's see, we got another prospect. Again, nothing exciting. I wanted to go ahead and, if I can remember how to do this, rookie draft. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the draft pool to get kind of an idea of what we're working with here. So I have this sorted by potential. I think that's the default. One thing to pay of note is anyone that's listed as extremely hard, I think impossible is also an option here, are going to be guys we're going to want to stay away from because we're just not going to have the resources to be able to sign them after we draft them. So something to keep in mind if you are doing a draft, don't draft someone with extremely hard next to their name because there's almost 100% likelihood they're not going to sign with your team, and it's a waste of a draft pick. Looking at the draft order, I think we have the 9th pick, and we do. You can go ahead on here and check out the OSA mock draft and see what they would project us drafting. So right now it would be Anthony Trelongo, who would be a 3rd baseman. Probably, yeah, it looks like he plays catcher and second as well. Probably not the guy we are going to draft. I'll look more into this in a little bit, but looking at this list really quickly, if there's any names that you are familiar with and think might be a great fit for the Pittsburgh Pirates organization, let me know. I'm going to do a deep dive in between videos on some of these guys and see how I'm feeling about them. I personally would like to get Travis Bazana on my team because 1, he has a super cool name, and 2, he's Australian, and I like that versatility. The downside is he plays second base, which is a position that I'm hoping Termar Johnson is going to fill long term for us, but I like Bazana. What a great last name that is. So anyway, this is our crop of talent. You can see a bunch of decent prospects. I would say no one who stands out as an organization changer, if that makes sense, but we'll see in our next video who we walk away with in this draft. And as always, thanks for watching. Go Bucks, and we'll see you next time.